Coming up next, the bonus round warps into a new kingdom. Nintendo and the Wii take center stage as our three industry experts debate the company's future. Is Nintendo picking the right strategy?
In this level of competition, when both of the other two boxes are really technology pieces, I think they really made the right move.
Is the Wii just a gimmick?
I think they're on to something, and I think they're appealing to an audience that may not be interested in purchasing a $600 machine.
And could the Wii walk all over the PS3 and 360?
You might show your dad Madden and he might be, oh, I want to play that. But is your mom ever going to play Madden? No, but she might play Wii Bowling.
Fanboys, brace yourselves. The bonus round is back. Hey everybody, and welcome to the bonus round, where all the biggest names in the video game business get together to talk about the issues that matter most. Tonight we're talking about Nintendo and its new system, the Nintendo Wii. And joining me is a panel of video game industry experts, as always. We have Tommy Tallarico, noted video game composer and creator of Video Games Live; Pete Wanat, an executive producer at Sierra, who just finished Scarface: The World Is Yours; and our returning champion, Michael Pachter from Wedbush Morgan Securities. Guys, welcome to the bonus round.
Hey. Thanks for having us.
All right, so we're talking about Nintendo and the Wii tonight, which is the big new system that's come out from Nintendo this year. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the strategy that Nintendo is pursuing with the Wii. We've heard this phrase, the blue ocean strategy, that Nintendo's been talking about, and saying that, well, Sony and Microsoft are off competing for very high-tech home entertainment center in the red waters of competition. Nintendo's pursuing a different strategy by focusing purely on innovation. Do we think was that the right strategy for Nintendo to take in the wake of the GameCube coming in third place? Let's start with you, Michael.
Economically, it's definitely the right decision because they're spending not very much money. They haven't really escalated the stakes of the battle to have to create a box that costs $500 or $600 or $800 to make and is going to have to retail for $400 or $500 or $600. They've created a box that costs them probably less than $200 to manufacture, so they can sell it at a profit for $249. I think that Nintendo looked at the market and said, there's really no reason to have a race and see which box can go the fastest. It makes more sense for us to create an off-road vehicle. So instead of creating a Maserati or a Ferrari and trying to see if we can go faster than Microsoft or Sony, we'll make a Jeep. And if people want to go off-road, good luck doing that in a Maserati.
And that's not their strength, because they can't, they don't make graphics chips, they don't make really high-tech electronics. So, Pete, what's your take on that? Is that what they should have done?
I think each system is in the home for a different reason. I think with Microsoft and Sony, Microsoft wants to be your internet portal right in front of your television. I think Sony wants to be your Blu-ray high technology device, and they're both game machines. But if you look at Nintendo's motivation, they've always been the gaming system that families grow up on. And I think in this level of competition, when both of the other two boxes are really technology pieces, I think they really made the right move.
Tommy, what's your take? Did they make the right move?
I agree with these guys as well. I think it was the exact right time for them as well, going forward, because I think, as we saw last generation, the GameCube started to lose a little steam. They kind of, showed up in third place at the end of the day.
That was an example that they tried to, make the same system as the other guys.
Exactly.
And they failed.
So the timing was right for them, which they showed with the DS and their success there as well. So I think they're on to something, and I think they're appealing to an audience that may not be interested in purchasing a $600 machine or who's interested in online as their most important thing. So, I commend them. I love the fact that they're providing something that the other two aren't. And that's great for everybody.
Now, some people have said that Nintendo shouldn't have created another system, and they maybe should have gone the route of Sega, where they started putting their characters and all their great properties on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Was that a realistic possibility for Nintendo? Should they have considered that?
Nintendo's a $30 billion company.
Yeah.
Sega is a very small, probably sub $2 billion company prior to its merger with Sammy. So Nintendo has huge resources.
And hugely profitable.
And they have a huge profit stream. Right. They have a huge business, as you said, from handhelds. I think the only people who really seriously suggested that they go the way of Sega were financially unsophisticated people.
Right.
So not going to happen.
So Nintendo, with the Wii, they've obviously gone down the path of innovation instead of graphics. What do you think that means for the industry? Do you think that consumers, do they really value innovation more than they value, high-tech, high-def graphics?
I personally think like the mainstream does rely a lot on graphics. I mean, I'm a self-proclaimed graphics whore.
And music whore.
And audio whore as well, yes. And the reality is that those are important to me. The style of games that I personally like. The Metal Gear Solids. And when I see Metal Gear 4, I get all excited, and the Gears of War and things like that. So I think
you want to impress your friends, bring them over and say, "Wow, look what Fight Night looks like on the Xbox 360."
And even for the non-gamers out there, like I'll sit down with my dad, for example, and show him the new Madden game or the new Project Gotham Racing, and he's like, "Wow, that looks so realistic. Can I play?" So I think it is important. So I think they are at a little bit of a disadvantage there because their graphics and audio really doesn't stack up to the other two.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my standpoint, I want to make games for, the next gen systems. I'm thinking about, 360 and PS3 because I want to make games that, are for a more mature audience to begin with. I look at the Wii as something that everybody in the household can play. I think if you might show your dad Madden and he might be, I want to play that. But is your mom ever going to play Madden? No, but she might play Wii Bowling. Right. Even if she's not, she's never played a game. She hasn't played a game since, arcade days. She might pick it up, and it's easy to use, and it's definitely more of a family device than, say, a hardcore gamer device.
And I think Tommy's right that everybody cares about graphics, but everybody can't capitalize on the graphics that are available because they don't have high definition.
Right.
And so, yeah, we want it. Everybody wants to drive a Porsche, but there's an awful lot of Tauruses and Camrys out there. If you have a 60-mile commute, you're not going to spend your money on a Porsche. So if you're going to spend most of your time playing games with the family, then you probably don't care about the graphics in Gears of War because it's not really a family game. I think that, you look at HD penetration, we're probably at about 30% right now. Until we get past 50%, I don't think graphics are going to matter to people that much. This is a 2008 kind of event. So I think Nintendo wins this battle for the next 2 years.
Short term.
Then in '08, I think you're going to see the PS3 and the Xbox 360 pass the Wii. But the good news is there'll be more than one console in the household. You're going to see a Wii in a household and a 360 and a PS3. Right. And you know what? The kids can go up and play with mom and play Wii Bowling, and the dad and the son are going to play Gears of War and Halo 3.
But isn't the reality too, though, that the average video gamer is a 33-year-old male?
Yeah,
right?
Guys that grew up playing, the early Nintendo systems.
So I think if you look at the mainstream of gaming that's out there, the people who bought all those PlayStation 2s,
Right.
I think they care a lot about graphics.
Right.
I really do.
But I think they're also, they're also complaining too that a lot of the games play the same again and again. It's like you look at like a lot of the early 360 and PS3 games, and it's sort of the same third-person action game with maybe cool lighting in it or something like that. But there's nothing that is really innovative in terms of the way you play the game. I think that's been a complaint. Nintendo's saying graphics don't matter anymore. People value innovation more and new ways to play.
I actually just talked to a 13-year-old kid who was playing his Wii. And I said, "What's your favorite game?" And he goes, "His Wii." Yeah. And he's playing with his Wii. And he said his favorite game is Excite Truck. And I thought, what an odd game.
It's a horrible game.
Right. I'm not a big fan of it either. And I said, "Why?" And he goes,
"Just because it's different."
"I'm learning how to drive. When I actually have to drive, I know how to steer." And I thought, I don't think
Drive
that's
a rocket
actually
ship,
true.
maybe.
But honestly, it is closer to steering a real
just something
car
different,
than any
right.
other game. Right. And so think of all the things that we really can do, that you can do with the platform that we've never tried before. I thought Red Steel would work. It's not gotten good reviews. But the idea that I'd rather play a sword fighting game by swinging, the sword than trying to push the analog stick and hit the X button, the pointy strike.
But for me, like video games are all about like pixel perfect accuracy, to me, like the sports games and that driving game when you're just trying to get that right amount of hit around the corner and the power slide. And that's what I'm finding is that, for me with the controls, that's all kind of taken away from me. The precision, when I play Tony Hawk, it's difficult. It is, to me, more difficult, I find.
But it is different. And when
It's
we come
different.
back, we're going to talk about some of the games for the Wii and the system here with these guys. Really think if you should buy a Wii at home. Next time on the bonus round, our experts give their hands-on impressions of the Wii. Is the control scheme really as simple as Nintendo promised?
I kept going like this with it. I'd like try to put them together and make a controller, damn it. I'd be like, come on.
And which launch games worked and which didn't?
I think they should focus more on the really wacky stuff. Cooking Mama and Trauma
Right.
Center. That's the cool stuff.
That's all next Saturday when the bonus round returns.
Bonus round.